This morning's guest runs for the Red Cross. She's a rescue racer. Meet her, coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People and Merry Christmas. This morning we're at Sassy Girl on 4th Avenue in the Blackwater Market in Conway, South Carolina. We're focused on the Red Cross Rescue Racers and today's 19th annual Christmas Day dinner to be held at 3 area churches. And we're visiting with a dedicated board member of the Coastal South Carolina chapter of the American Red Cross and someone out on Christmas morning, Susan Mungo. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning, Merry Christmas.
Wearing your beautiful red, which highlights, I guess, both Christmas today and the Red Cross.
Exactly.
The Rescue Racers. And, of course, the big Christmas Day dinner today.
Yes, which should be wonderful.
A big day, and it is. The cost is...
It's free.
It's free.
There is no cost.
Free to everyone.
A free meal.
Anyone to get out. And, of course, the big First Presbyterian Church, I think, from 1 to 4. I'm looking down at this Blaine Methodist down in Blaine United Methodist Church in Murrells Inlet. From 1 to 3.
That one's from 1 to 3.
And then there's another church, I believe, they've opened up there in Andrews this year.
Trinity United Methodist Church in Andrews.
Okay.
And that one is also from 1 to 3.
Fantastic, yes. And this is something that's been around, the 19th annual, to think of that, a commitment. And, of course, Janice Ash Saliano and her daughter and their whole family.
They work hard and do this every year.
Right, right. Well, we had Angela Nicholas with us a couple of weeks ago filming from the Pampas Drive address of the Coastal South Carolina chapter. She aired on that Wednesday promoting an event that was less than 2 weeks away, and now we're here today. It's the day of, which is very exciting.
Feed people on Christmas Day.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, of course, Vicki opened up the shop. Have you been in here before, Susan?
Yes, it's quite a place to shop and find some really unique things.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that smile. You've done that before.
Absolutely.
Real quick about yourself, Susan. Are you originally from the area?
Yes, I am. A native of Horry County.
Is that right?
That's right.
A native of Horry County. And how about the Conway area? Do you know this area at all?
Yes, I have lived in Conway for about 20 years. I grew up in North Myrtle Beach, but moved to Conway in my early 20s and call it home, my husband and I, and our yellow lab, Harley. We call this home.
Yes. I've heard you talk about Harley. You must have had Harley for a while.
We've had him for 10 years. He's our only child, and we've had him for 10 years.
Yes, Susan. Well, I remember filming 3 or 4 years ago. We were at the Herald Studios on the former Air Force Base.
Right.
Promoting, I think, the Heart Association, the Heart Walk at that time. And I believe you're with Sandy Cooper, and I think I remember you talking about being one of 4 girls.
That's right. I have 3 sisters.
So your sisters have probably been in here before as well. Yeah.
A couple of them at least, probably, yes.
Yes. Well, thank you again for coming out on Christmas Day. And, of course, the Red Cross Rescue Racers. This is coming up soon.
Yes, February the 16th.
February the 16th, okay.
It is the Myrtle Beach Marathon. That is when we are going to run the marathon, the half marathon, or walk the marathon or the half marathon.
Some folks will be walking the 13.1 or 26.2 miles as well.
That's correct.
It's a long walk.
Yes. And they have been training hard.
To walk 26.2 miles, I bet they have.
You don't just go out and do that.
Yeah.
It does take training.
For even fast walkers, how long would something like that take, a full marathon?
Well, you know, everybody does have their own pace.
Right.
But a lot of our walkers are doing a little over 4 miles in an hour.
Wow. So that would take, I'm not great with math, but that sounds like 8.5 hours.
Yeah, and actually they close the marathon, I believe, after 8 hours.
Right.
But I think that all of our participants will make it. All of them aren't doing the total 26.2.
Right, sure.
Some of them are doing the half.
13.1 is great. Absolutely. That's a big commitment. So that would take them 3.5 hours.
Right.
Or a little more than that. That's tremendous. Yeah, I didn't do my math well on the first one. It's probably 6.5 hours and 3.25 or 3.5 on this, which is wonderful. What's the history behind the Red Cross Rescue Racers, Susan?
Well, the Red Cross has been a participant with the Myrtle Beach Marathon for years on a volunteer basis. They have supported the marathon with volunteers and providing water and first aid. But the folks who found the marathon came to Angela and said, we think that, the Red Cross can be a little more involved. And they talked to her about actually making the first official training team for the Myrtle Beach Marathon and have it benefit the local Red Cross, the South Carolina chapter of the local Red Cross. And Angela was not at the time a runner. I don't think at the time she was a walker, but she is now.
Oh, wow.
And,
put her on the spot on Christmas Day, yeah.
She and I are friends, and we do local theater together, and we were in a production at the time, and she said, you know, is this something that maybe you would consider helping me with? And I had become a board member, and she said, I'd really like for you to take this on.
Right.
And I was more than happy to, because running's a passion for me, so I was very excited about the concept. And we came up with a name for the group, and we sort of patterned it after things like the Team in Training or other teams that you see that actually raise money for events. But this is totally local. All of our participants are local. And we have provided training for them. Coaches from the Grand Strand Running Club have been provided for them.
Great.
We've had some guest speakers who have come to talk to our group about things like the kind of shoes to wear, what things can help you, like massage, chiropractic, nutrition, all kinds of things that you really need to know as you really move into the fitness arena and try to become, you know, involved and more fit and do it the right way. And that was really the concept that we wanted with this Red Cross Rescue Racers. We want to help people reach fitness goals, but do it the right way.
And that's not always something we think about with the Red Cross. Of course, having Angela a couple of weeks ago, we're thinking about, obviously, hurricanes, thinking about fires and fire victims in Horry, Georgetown, and Williamsburg counties. You're not oftentimes thinking about the stuff you think about, let's say, with the March of Dimes, for instance, and their Walk America, or the Heart Association, the Heart Walk. This is a new tack, but obviously a very important one.
Well, you know, the Red Cross is always about preparing for anything, and safety and first aid as well.
Oh, yes, of course, forgive me, that's right,
so,
like the mannequins.
Yes, and well, they also have pet CPR now.
Is that
which
right?
Is,
pet CPR?
From what I understand, is really
taken off.
Yes.
Well, that's
you know,
great.
If anything goes wrong, you want to know what to do and
if
do
Harley
it the
was
proper
having
way.
a heart attack or
I'd want
drowning,
to know how to handle that. You're right.
Absolutely, that's great.
So, you know, we took it from that aspect. We wanted to provide more than just, you know, let's go out and walk or run for this group.
Right.
And it's been very successful. We have, to date, 14 participants.
Right, good, okay.
And like I said, some of them are running, some of them are walking, and some of them are doing the half, and some of them are doing the full marathon.
Right.
But it's based on what they felt was best for them.
Right.
And their training is individual. We do have group meetings on Sunday afternoons where we try to walk or run together.
Great.
But otherwise, during the week, they train on their own.
Golly, Susan, this is tremendous.
It's been wonderful. It really has. As a way for them to give back for this, we have asked each participant to raise $500.
A minimum of $500.
A minimum of $500, and that money will go to do the work that the Coastal South Carolina chapter of the Red Cross does in this area. All of the money stays local, and for fire families and you know, first aid, the other things, disaster recovery that the Red Cross does in this area. So everything is staying local. The Myrtle Beach Marathon is local.
Right, sure is. It's the 10th annual this year, the 10th annual, big deal.
The team that morning will be the first training team ever for the Myrtle Beach Marathon, and so we're excited about being the first too.
Absolutely.
Now we don't plan to be the first for long. We do hope that this could maybe spread to other chapters of the Red Cross.
There's a lot of chapters and a lot of marathons in those chapter communities. That's
other
a great
cities
idea.
That have their own marathons, and we feel that not only would it be a way for the Red Cross to reach out and again help people become fit in a safe and effective manner, but yet also benefit the local chapter of the Red Cross.
Well, obviously, being Christmas Day, a lot of folks probably, even though they'd love to sit here and watch the two of us, they may need to get into presents or otherwise. We hope we can keep them here another 15 minutes, but let's say they've got to go now, get in. Of course, Santa's been there and rummaging around their house. What's a good phone number if someone wants to learn more? Is it the 477-0020 number, the Red Coastal South Carolina chapter of the American Red Cross?
Exactly.
That's the best number, 477-0020. We've got a good 7 weeks before the marathon. Is it still far enough away that folks should get involved now?
You know, actually, if somebody has been somewhat active, you know, it's not necessarily too late.
Okay, good.
But if you have not ever plan to walk or run and you have not been
Right.
involved, what we would recommend is that you come and talk to us, and
Sure.
we'll be glad to, show you the training program
Right.
and let you see, where you are, and,
Sure.
and maybe, we're not going to discourage anyone from doing this.
Oh,
We just
yeah.
want to make sure they don't hurt themselves in the process.
Yeah, and the Red Cross would still be supportive of folks just being out there, helping to raise $500, helping to push those numbers to have a bigger team. So with 7 weeks out,
Absolutely.
and of course with a lot of physically fit folks, not that they're sitting at home today exercising, but physically fit for most parts of the year, they
Right.
may be capable of doing the 13.1 miles out
Especially
there.
walking it, exactly.
Sure, walking it out there. That's right. So now you'll be running. Angela, what will she be doing?
She'll be walking.
She's one. Okay, that's right. And of course, is your hubby in the crew?
He is running the half marathon.
Is that right? Good. Okay.
And I have one of my sisters is on the team as well. She'll be walking the half.
Right, right. And of course, this is, as you said, very novel. The opportunity to expand into other areas is really viable.
Yes.
It being a first time out. As we think about for you, Susan, was there anything early on that got you interested in exercise and running and staying fit? Was it just that, staying in shape? And of course, I want to talk for a minute, if you don't mind, sharing about the experiences up in the Charlotte area. I believe something that happened on the
Right.
an Avon event, I believe, even though it's separate from the Red Cross, to highlight, obviously this is not new to you.
Right. I have always enjoyed being active
Right.
and working on being fit, and it's constant work.
Sure,
The older
sure.
we get, the more work
Oh,
it
yeah,
takes.
don't say it. It's Christmas, don't you? Yeah, no.
But I'd walked. I'd always been a walker,
Right.
and I always kind of wanted to run.
Yeah.
But I would start out thinking that I needed to, just take off running and not stop, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
can be very frustrating if you don't know how to train for that.
Right.
And I finally got help from someone in Orlando, Florida. I was at a conference, and he was one of the instructors, and he gave me some tips on how to actually get into running, that I couldn't do it. I couldn't just go out and become a runner, that I had to do it gradually.
Right. Good.
And he started me on a program, and I can remember the first time I ran a mile without stopping. I was so thrilled.
Yeah, yeah.
And now I've
And those
actually
are the kind of baby steps you have to take.
exactly that is the way you need to do it for your overall actual fitness and wellness.
Right, right.
I can tell you don't want to become injured, and that's easy to do.
Oh, yeah.
But along the way, I started increasing my run. I ran. The first time I participated in the Myrtle Beach Marathon, it was as a member of a relay team, which was a lot of
Okay.
fun.
And that is what, 4 or 5 people normally?
That's
Yeah.
normally 5 people.
5.
Each person runs 5 miles, except
Right.
for the last person that takes up the 6.2 to finish
right,
it.
right.
And that was a lot of fun. But then I got the bug, and the next year I did the half,
Right.
and loved it. And so I battled with breast cancer after that.
Right.
And in my recovery, while I was battling that, the doctors all told me how beneficial it was for me to be physically fit going into it, that it was very helpful in battling what I had to do. And so coming out of it, I said, I'm going to remain fit. I want to continue to do something.
Right.
And I sent a little note to a friend of mine, one of my best friends at work, and it was the Avon Walk for Breast Cancer.
Right. Was it in Charlotte?
It was in Charlotte.
Okay,
It's a
yeah.
2-day event. The first day you walk a marathon. The second day you walk a half marathon.
Wow.
And I said, does this sound like fun or like a nightmare? And I think she thought it sounded like a nightmare,
Yeah.
but she agreed to do it
You
with
got her
me.
on board.
I
yeah.
did. And
did y'all stay in tents or something, or was it out there, or was
Oh,
it?
yeah.
It was a lot outdoors. I remember seeing some stuff about it, and of course reading about it. I think the Overy Independent covered it. The Herald may have even covered it. I remember it was
Yes.
a lot of fanfare, obviously, about that. Even though it's a very serious issue, breast
Right.
cancer, and just the ideas of raising funds, but just like the Red Cross needs funds, obviously,
Exactly.
Avon and other groups that need funds as well.